Little fellow, you must have given up the hope of living.
On the contrary, I do not let the word death bother me.
Same here, baby.
Then what are you waiting for?
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, and we're all back in the studio, except for Matt, who will
Every
never be
last
back.
one of us.
Hi, Matt. How you doing in LA?
Yep, pandemic and earthquakes. Otherwise, things are awesome over here.
We're all masked up over here.
Yeah, we got an extra pop filter, so to speak.
There might be a bit more rustling than usual, but
yeah, we have a little mask addition here, and then also we put up some sound dampening squares. Buy some squares.
Looks very professional in the studio.
It does.
Thank you. We made them ourselves, and hopefully they will do the trick and provide some better audio for you fine
hopefully
folks.
I hung them well enough they won't fall off the walls.
That'll be good.
Ken, you brought
Jeff,
Blanky.
put them up. You guys are in trouble.
I did bring a blanket to hang over the windows. It's got colorful hedgehogs on it.
It is kind of adorable.
Blanky, what do you think about this new setup?
Is Blanky a new character?
No, well, Blanky just told me something, and I definitely disagree that that's the best Russell Crowe character, but, whatever. It's to each his own.
Okay, well.
Yeah. But we have some special guests here today. As you heard in the intro, today's a game of death. So it's going to be one competitor entering, one leaving at the end of the show. No deaths, but lots of trivia. To introduce our contestant today, it's someone that told us that his daughter Maggie almost stole his Universal Champion box. Is that right, Josh Head?
That is correct. I got it in the mail a few days before her 4th birthday, and so she was like, "This is mine, right?" And I was like, "No, it's Daddy's." And but yeah, so back on the show again. I think this is my 3rd time. We have been sitting at home just like most everybody else, and that's given me a lot of time to prepare for the game of death. So been, working out and fighting mentally and ready to go.
Good.
Nice.
Josh Head with a vengeance.
Welcome back to the show, and it was really a pleasure talking to you so much at Geek Bowl too. So.
Yeah, for sure. I had a great time at the event you guys threw, or with everybody else too. But yeah, it was really fun, and I hope that all this is over and you guys can come down to Austin next year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, those Universal Champion boxes are pretty awesome, but for a 4-year-old, I can't imagine that's the best birthday present. So
she doesn't care. She just wants whatever. She likes to open things and to say that they're hers. So that's all that matters.
Don't we all? We just all like opening things. And that's just going to be an opening to introduce our next guest, the host of today's Game of Death, another Universal Champion, and someone who shares an affinity for a certain music group with me and told a pretty great story about meeting them in person. And that is Eric Walling. How's it going, Eric?
Hey, guys. Good. How are you?
Good.
Feels like it's been a long time, but it's been about 5 months since we last talked, or 4 or 5 months, and it's insane how different everything has been.
Yeah, in quarantine time, that's like 9 years. So
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I've aged a dog year in that time. But yeah, Neil, I noticed, Neil and I had a nice conversation the other day about one of our favorite bands. It's a Tribe Called Quest. I got to see them when I was 22, 23. And they were on a really small tour in and around the Midwest and played in St. Louis. And my cousin took me. I went, it was a standing room only show. We were the first people in. I walked straight to the front of the stage and didn't move from that spot for the whole thing.
That's what you got to do. You got to post up.
Yeah. My cousin kept trying to get me to come back to the bar, and I was, nope, I'm not moving. This may be my only chance to see him. And it was. And I got to meet Fife and Jerobi, and I almost got to see Q-Tip, but somebody ran. It was like a fly, like somebody got too close to him, and he just like skittered off. So didn't get to see him, but it was a pretty awesome show. So that one I'll always remember.
That's a great memory. Well, yeah, they're great. If you haven't heard them, definitely check them out. But I'm sure everyone knows at least who they are. Are we ready in the studio?
We're ready to do Game of Death. So
all right, Matt. Any rules? Or I think everyone knows what it is. So
I can do this, Matt.
Yeah, there you go.
He'll be facing off with the three of us and then pick one of us to face in the 4th round, which is a topic of his choosing. Also, he will select 2 players for the swing round and 2 players for the final round. He will get double points for the swing round as it's 2-on-1. And those are the rules.
Yeah. Well,
Otherwise, it operates the same way.
Yeah, let's get oiled up. I guess, Eric, take it away with Josh.
Yeah, so I'm going to let Josh decide which host do you want to start with.
Let's start with Matt.
Right, good, because he was on the top of my stack of paper. And that makes it easy.
Convenient.
All right, well, you won't be surprised to find out that this is a sports category or set of questions. So we're going to start off with a question called role models. Only 3 players in the history of Major League Baseball have averaged 45 or more home runs in any 10-year span. Name 2 of those 3. And for clarification, that's just a rolling 10 years. It doesn't have to be like a decade, like 1980 to 1990 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm going to guess Sosa for one and McGuire for the other.
Okay. I'm also guessing Sammy. I know he has 3 of the 60 home run seasons, so that would really weigh that average up. And then for the other was someone who I think was just really consistent in that 45 to 55 range, and I'm going with A-Rod.
So points for one person here. The 3 players that have averaged 45 or more in any 10-year span were Sammy Sosa, Babe Ruth, and Alex Rodriguez.
All right.
Yeah, Sosa hit 60 home runs 3 times, never led the league in any of those years.
They did it all naturally, all of them.
Yeah, Jeff, you've been taking some PEDs for podcasting. How's that going for you?
It's good. I get a little bit ragey from time to time, but I feel like it's really improved my performance.
I get ragey from time to time, but I'm not taking anything.
All right, question number 2, Earth's pastime. Name the 4 NBA players born outside of the United States and its territories to win an NBA MVP.
So you're locked in then, I guess?
Yeah.
So let me go through my thinking and see if I can get to a 4th. So I know Giannis was last year, born in Greece. Olajuwon, born in Africa. Steve Nash, I believe, born in Canada. You said out. I don't know if Tim Duncan counts, but I'm gonna say Giannis, Hakeem, Steve Nash, and Tim Duncan.
I had one other than you did, but I only had 3. I had Hakeem, Steve Nash, and Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, so you got all 4 between the 2 of you. That is Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Giannis were the 4.
Yeah, so Tim was born in the Virgin Islands, which technically counts, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, it's U.S. territory, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I almost said David Robinson, but I remember that he played on a Navy ship, and I was going to say, wasn't he born on a Navy ship on international waters? But that would have been really dumb.
A very specific case.
All right, number 3. Paul Hubbard isn't a name you associate much with football, but this deaf quarterback from tiny Gallaudet University in the 1890s is credited with inventing what football staple that remains largely unchanged to this day?
Oh, I think I know this. I can lock in.
Pretty sure he invented the touchdown end zone dance.
He did the Irish jig
patch.
and the cabbage patch.
He was doing pelvic thrusting in the end zone, which was very controversial then.
I'm gonna say like the goalpost. I don't know. I have no idea.
So I think the clues there. He was a quarterback and he was deaf. So I'm guessing to get the play to everybody, he'd have to bring everybody in close. And I think that it's the huddle.
It is the huddle. He was he invented it because he was tired of the other teams who also knew sign language stealing the plays.
Did he bang on trash cans?
Probably wouldn't have helped him.
It wouldn't have helped. All right. This question is called What Mama Don't Know Won't Hurt Her. Bozzini, Roberto Sport, Garlando, Leonhardt, and Tornado are the 5 internationally recognized playing surfaces that may host a World Cup of what game?
Man, 3 of those playing surfaces are pasta too, so.
I'll lock in, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So they all sound crazy. So I'm thinking some kind of modern extreme sport. I know it's not slam ball because I don't think they have a World Cup because it doesn't exist anymore. But I'm gonna say slam ball because I love slam ball.
I'm gonna say bocce.
Yeah, so clue in the category, or I mean in the name of the question, what Mama Don't Know Won't Hurt Her is because she didn't want Bobby Boucher playing foosball.
Ah.
Should have used my medulla oblongata.
Eric, you were saying that Luxembourg has a pretty stout foosball team, right?
Yes, yeah. They're. I found that out from ESPN2 the other night, or the Ocho, really, technically.
I was gonna say it moved up to 2 because there's no sports and it's all that's left.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. There's like an entire. Luxembourg was a powerhouse, which was something that I was not expecting. And America has won 5 straight World Cups, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go us. This is the only World Cup of soccer we're winning.
I can imagine we'd be good at foosball. There was a foosball table my freshman year of college, and it pretty much resulted in me getting a solid 2.0 GPA. So
Pretty good at foosball, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. If that was one of the classes, it would have brought it up a little bit.
Adam's Family Pinball is what did me in.
All right. Last question in the category. Who is the only player in NBA history to have his number retired for 3 different franchises? And I'll give you 5 bonus points if you can name the non-NBA franchise that also retired his number.
I'll lock in.
Ooh, quick lock in.
Yeah, I think it's Michael Jordan. I know his number's retired. Definitely for the Bulls. Definitely for the Heat for some reason. And I'm wondering, and I think there's a baseball team, but I can't remember. Because I know that when LeBron went to Miami, he chose number 6 because they retired 23. But now I'm thinking maybe it's not him. I don't know. I'm gonna say Michael Jordan though.
Yeah, my same thought. Michael Jordan, and for the bonus point, you said the non-NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I say the Birmingham Barons.
Yeah, so the only player that I had to have his number retired by 3 different franchises was Wilt Chamberlain.
That was my other guess.
And the non-NBA franchise that his number is retired for is the Harlem Globetrotters.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. He played for him very early in his career.
Right.
Which teams? It's Warriors, Lakers, and
The
Sixers.
Sixers.
Yeah.
That was my other guess.
Well, after our first fight, it looks like Matt was able to get a left hook and a body blow on Josh for 20 points for Team Triviality, but Josh was in a defensive stance, so he did not have any points in that first round. So, Josh, who would you like to face off against in the second?
Let's go with you, Neil.
All right. Well, challenge accepted. Let me just take off my shirt and get in my underwear.
We keep telling you that it's not necessary, and we wish you wouldn't do it, but...
Yeah, at least you left the mask on.
All right. Category about movie questions. Here we go with Neil, number 1. The most recent entry into the EGOT status was Alan Menken, thanks to his Daytime Emmy win for his work on Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. But he's still a step away from another elite status, the PGOT. That's an EGOT plus Pulitzer. Name either of the American composers to have garnered this achievement. One who is well known for his work in a composing duo, the other better known for his work with a certain Babs.
All right, I think I got one, so I'll lock in. Let Josh talk.
So the first one that I can think of, or the first thing that popped in my head was Rodgers and Hammerstein. So one of those two, and I know Babs has got to refer to Barbra Streisand, but I can't think of who that would be. I'm going to go with Rodgers.
Wow. Yeah. So I knew one of Rodgers and Hammerstein was one of these, and the way I remember is Miss Info did an episode on Stephen Sondheim, and Sondheim's mentor was Hammerstein, so I knew it was the other one. So I also went Richard Rodgers.
Yes, that's correct. Richard Rodgers is one of the two. The other one is Marvin Hamlish.
Oh, the
Hamlish.
composer of The Sting. It's a great soundtrack.
All right. Question number 2. What Best Picture winner, perhaps best remembered for reasons other than how great it was, is the lowest budget Best Picture winner in the history of the Oscars?
I'll lock in.
So initially, I remember there was a ton of press around Hurt Locker being low budget and kind of taking that crown. And it's more remembered because it was Catherine Bigelow who won her Oscar for that, for Best Directing, first female to win a Best Directing Oscar. But wasn't Crash low budget? Wasn't it like $5 million? Maybe not. I mean, it had a lot of stars in it. And I'm only thinking of Crash because Tandy Newton just did a great interview. I think it was for like Vanity Fair or Vulture about that movie and how crazy it was. Yeah, those are the only two movies that I'm coming up with. So I'm just going to go with Hurt Locker.
I said Chariots of Fire.
No points on this one. Probably better remembered for the fact that it wasn't originally announced as the Best Picture winner, but that was Moonlight.
I was going to go that way. I should have. I figured your clue was about that, but I didn't know what the budget was.
Yeah, $1.5 million. Marty was second with $3.2 million, and then the third on the list is Rocky at $4.6 million.
All of it was from Sylvester Stallone's adult film career, funding the budget
there. Nothing to say to that.
All right, question number 3. Since its inception, the X and NC-17 ratings have been something of a death knell for movies, but not for every movie rated that way. What is the only X or NC-17 rated movie to win an Oscar in any category while still being rated X? To clarify, it has since been re-rated and downgraded to R.
I can lock in.
Okay, so Josh locked in. This brings me back to a pencil that I got once in a glove compartment of a car, and it had like teeth impressions on it. And I remember the teeth were really gnawing on that pen, and I believe it belonged to John Voight.
Talking about me. From all the words I'm saying.
Hey, I'm podcasting here. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in with Midnight Cowboy.
Yep, that's the same for me.
Points all around. It is Midnight Cowboy.
All right. Yeah. Dustin Hoffman, man. How about the 70s for him? All right. How about that Dustin Hoffman guy?
Astute observation, Neil.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he's not bad.
I've met people like that, though, at like film parties where it's just the guy and all they just bring up like really obvious things. Like, how about that Daniel Day-Lewis, right? He's a good actor.
No one talks about it, but Jimmy Stewart, pretty good.
He was a likable guy.
All right, question number 4. While Johnny Carson used a number of guest hosts during his time at the helm of The Tonight Show, Jay Leno was quite the opposite. Only once in 4,600 episodes during Leno's tenure was there a guest host as part of a job swap publicity stunt at NBC. Name the person whom Jay Leno swapped jobs with on May 13th, 2003.
That was the one episode where it was funny.
Probably.
Wow.
This is an interesting question because Jay Leno sometimes would be on, but I was always more of a Letterman person, and I'm trying to think of who would have swapped with him.
Not Conan.
No.
Yeah, that didn't go well. I can't think of anything that was on NBC in 2003.
All right, Josh is locked in. The job swatch. It's about watches. The job thing is screwing me up because if he did it at NBC, would it have been like Lorne Michaels or someone else on a big NBC property? But I'm not going.
Lorne Michaels doesn't have fun. We know this.
In the news today. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know Joan Rivers used to guest host for Carson a lot, and I thought she did it for Leno at one point, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to lock in with Joan Rivers.
I'm going to lock in with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, no points here. So Leno hosted The Tonight Show. She hosted The Today Show. That's Katie Couric.
Oh, wow.
Oh, pass.
Matt with the hot take from 2003. Not only did she not believe in the internet, but she didn't get Matt's approval.
I've been saving that take for 17 years.
All right, question 5 in the category. Thanks to having his knee drained multiple times during the filming of Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze turned down the lead roles in both Tango and Cash and Predator, opting instead to follow it with what significantly less strenuous movie?
I can lock in.
So let's see. I think I'm gonna say Ghost.
Yes, I'm also going to go with Ghost. He championed Whoopi Goldberg to be in that movie. She ended up winning an Oscar. That one, the only strenuous activity he had was, rubbing Demi Moore's hands in some clay. So
Intense pottery.
Yeah, pottery. So I'm going to go with Ghost as well.
Yeah, I didn't need to use his drained knee for making pottery. It was Ghost.
All right, Josh. Well, you got 3 hits. I guess we both tied here. We both got 30 points in that round. So well done. So the scores going into the swing round are 30 for Josh and a slight lead of 50 for Team Triviality. Ken, how are you feeling before we get into the swing round?
Doesn't matter because I have not performed yet. But
you're kind of waiting?
I'm just waiting to take my shirt off and my pants
we don't know.
too, I guess.
It might be me who has to take their shirt off.
Eventually I'm taking my shirt off.
I'll give
one
you
way or another.
I'll give you a little Treaty of Versailles here. I'll take off my shirt and pants, right? But leave my underwear on.
Let's all just get naked in the studio.
You take off your underwear, but keep your clothes on.
Like Donald Duck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for your face masks.
There was a guy at the gym that I used to go to.
There's always a guy at the gym that
Porky Pig. Yeah. He Porky Pigged it. He would just walk around with the shirt on, no underwear, just hanging out for the whole world to see.
You get completely naked, and then the first thing you put on is your watch.
Yep.
I don't understand.
And then your necklace.
Yeah.
Then you got to fix your hair.
I never understood the gym when I went. It was.
The male body is a beautiful thing, but
sure it is.
I don't.
The locker room was just full of Captain Morgans, guys who just lift up their leg for no reason.
Foot up on the bench. That's the key when you're naked.
The horror. Anyways, let's get on to the swing round. But first, Josh, who do you want to take on, keeping in mind that you will have to take on the other two in the final?
Can I hear what the theme is first, or no?
How did we do that, Matt?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Then yes.
Yep. So theme for the midpoint this round is tribonds.
I think definitely pick. Don't pick Jeff and Ken, or Jeff and Matt.
I'm gonna go with Jeff and Matt.
That was wise.
Wise.
That happened last time, and we got a perfect 10. So
feeling terribly left out, though. I have not yet.
I know you're gonna be cold. You're like the pitcher who's in the bench, and you have the coat on, but you don't have a coat. You're just cold.
Just naked.
You're just naked with no underwear.
I'm saving you up for the second round.
All right.
Naked and Afraid.
Sounds good.
Featuring Ken.
All right, I'll go through these 10 tribonds. So names, words, places that all these clues have in common. So tribond number 1, the city where Spielberg first screened Jaws to a live audience, the original home of the franchise now known as the Kansas City Chiefs, a city where one can turn left off of Houston onto Elm and see a county administration building known for a much different reason. Number 2, a baseball player who prefers you not call him Joey, Big Ben, and a character portrayed in various mediums by the likes of Susan Egan, Keegan-Connor Tracy, Paige O'Hara, and Emma Watson. Number 3, an opaque mineral aggregate of microgranular quartz, the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies, the fictional Missouri home of the Double Deuce. Number 4, gallium, Dragon Force, and a 1981 adult animated sci-fi fantasy film.
I understood that one.
Yeah,
I know. I was like, I got one.
Number 5, Veto, Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones vis-a-vis Nicole Richie, a fast casual pizza chain headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. Number 6, a ubiquitous computer, a Texans quarterback, Spider-Man's muse, Mary Jane. Number 7, Jackie Robinson, Bill Clinton, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
Didn't even need that last one.
All right. Number 8, Justin Long, a little World Circuit champ, Mark Morrison, according to Mark Morrison. Number 9, the Planeteer Ma Tees Power, a rock band fronted at various times by either of the Wilson sisters, one of the 28 mansions of the Chinese constellation system. Number 10, Damon Albarn, Coco, the Phoenix Suns mascot.
And I take back what I said. I'm glad I was not selected for this. So
I am as well, yeah.
good luck, gentlemen, and we will be right back with our answers. And the answers are now locked in after some rigorous debate. But Matt, can you please remind our listeners how they can get in touch with us and how they can check us out online?
Yeah, the best place to reach us, if you had any questions or concerns or had some comments on this episode, there's going to be a spoiler thread right on the crop at facebook.com/Triviality Podcast. Just kind of join us there. We have a lot of conversations, a lot of talking, usually about the show, and then sometimes other nonsense. You can see us on Instagram at Triviality Podcast. I think that's at Triviality Pod, posting pictures mostly of Neil with ridiculous backgrounds on Skype.
Yeah, that's for the youths who don't go on Facebook anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And Matt, what about the crop drop? That thing you started?
The thing that I started, yeah, the first one should have already dropped. If you have any questions, it's sort of an Ask Me Anything style bonus podcast for all of our Patreon listeners. Just send us an email to trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. Put crop drop in the subject, and we're going to read those every single month.
And I also can't wait for the emails that are upset about our in-studio nudity today.
Yeah, well,
I've already written mine.
Yeah,
No
that
judgment.
will not be on Instagram, so don't worry about that if that was a concern.
I have a fig leaf in front of my junk, so.
I brought a big black bar made of cardboard.
Oh, there you go.
I have a single serve Keurig in front of mine.
Wow.
I'm talking about the machine. By the way.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Well,
machine.
that
Let's go with that.
Well, before we further embarrass ourselves, let's get our answers.
All right. I'll go through the tri-bonds again, see what you guys came up with. So number 1 was the city where Spielberg first screened Jaws to a live audience, original home of the franchise now known as the Kansas City Chiefs, the city where one can turn left off Houston onto Elm and see a county administration building known for a much different reason.
I went with Dallas.
Yeah, we also said Dallas.
You are correct. It is Dallas.
All right.
Number 2, a baseball player who preferred you not call him Joey, Big Ben, and a character portrayed in various mediums by the likes of Susan Egan, Keegan Connor Tracy, Paige O'Hara, and Emma Watson.
I went with Albert, don't call me Joey Bell. So Bell would be the answer.
All right. Well, we weren't sure. I was thinking of a player who we used to go by Joey Gallo. Now he goes by Joe. There might have been Gallows at Big Ben by London Tower. And I don't know how it fits in with third one, but we said Gallo.
Oh, Josh got it there. It was Bells. I was unaware of a character named Gallo that Emma Watson might have played, but you might know more than me.
No, I was just making it up and hoping for the best.
I think it was that role where she pointed to her bicep and said it's all real.
All right, number 3 was an opaque mineral aggregate of microgranular quartz, the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies, and the fictional Missouri home of the Double Deuce.
I've had to think about it for a while, and I came up with Buffalo.
I don't know if this fits. I did watch Roadhouse not too long ago based on a Neil recommendation. Also, it just happened to be on TV for some reason. But I've been to the Canadian Rockies with Ken. 2 national parks we went to there were Banff and Jasper. And I think Jasper might fit for the minerals, so we guessed Jasper.
Jasper is correct. It is Jasper.
Home of the 3rd largest waterfall in Canada.
That's not in a later question, but I did. Number 4, Gallium, Dragon Force, and a 1981 adult animated sci-fi fantasy film.
That would be Heavy Metal.
Yep, despite Jeff arguing that gallium is not that heavy, we said heavy metal.
Yep, it is Heavy Metal. Number 5, Vito, Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones vis-a-vis Nicole Richie, a fast casual pizza chain headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska.
The Godfather.
We weren't sure on this one, so we said Papa John.
It points to Josh here. They are all Godfathers.
Never heard of Godfather's Pizza.
Yep, I don't know if there's one here. There might be. I've seen the logo before.
We had them in Texas at one time. I don't know if they're still here or not, but
Was there a lot of oranges in the pizza?
only when you were about to die.
Okay.
It's their famous citrus pizza.
Mm-hmm. Horse head pizza. A lot of protein.
All right, number 6. A ubiquitous computer, a Texans quarterback, Spider-Man's muse, Mary Jane.
I went with Watson.
Yeah, based off of Deshaun and the computer that I think was in Jeopardy once. I don't remember. He said Watson.
It was Watson. That's correct. Number 7, Jackie Robinson, Bill Clinton, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
42.
Yep, based on the book I still haven't read, we said 42.
That is correct. Also, the ASCII code for the asterisk symbol, but I figured you guys would have it off of the other 2 clues anyway. All right, number 8, Justin Long, a little World Circuit champ, and Mark Morrison, according to Mark Morrison.
This was just a guess. I said Mac for mostly Justin Long being in the Mac versus PC.
Yeah, and then
With
that would
Return of the
make
Mac.
sense with Return of the Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
Too bad that we said loser. So apologies to the Mac there.
Yep. Mark Morrison, of course, saying Return of the Mac. Justin Long, a Mac, and Little Mac
from Punch Out, right?
Punch Out. Yep. All
I
Macs.
just got that. Like after, yeah.
All right. Number 9, the Planeteer Ma-Tees Power. A rock band fronted at various times by either of the Wilson sisters, one of the 28 mansions of the Chinese constellation system.
I didn't want to feel alone, so I said Heart.
Captain Planet being one of my weird nostalgic memories that I remember every piece of it. It's definitely Heart.
And that is definitely correct. The weakest of the different Planeteer powers. I never understood what Heart really was.
It was a beam of light that did something.
How about all the celebrity?
Heart was the jubilee of the.
100%.
Did you guys realize how many celebrity cameos are on that show? It's insane. All the villains like Meg Ryan, Martin Sheen, Ed Asner, Jeff Goldblum.
Tom Cruise is on it, isn't he?
He might have been. I don't know. But Jeff Goldblum played a character called Verminous Scum, and he was a rat.
It was because it was based as entirely a charity thing, especially at least for the first season. So they were able to get a ton of celebrities who did it as like PR type stuff.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna kill you, Planeteers.
I couldn't think of anything to say.
I mean, the micro impression totally worked though.
He's just thinking.
It's just
So Tom Cruise had originally agreed to play the voice of Captain Planet, and then he backed out after 6 episodes, and they removed his audio. Very weird.
Well, it's because it wasn't to the planet Xenu. That's why.
We can move on.
All right, number 10. Damon Albarn, Coco, and the Phoenix Suns mascot.
I was going to say George Costanza, but I'm going to go with Gorillas.
Oh yeah, Damon Albarn is the singer of Gorillaz, I think. That's where that comes from. Oh yeah, we said Gorillaz.
Yep, Damon Albarn, lead singer of Gorillaz, Coco the Gorilla, and the Phoenix Suns mascot, the Gorilla.
And Blur, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah, and Blur. Yep.
Yeah.
What a swing round. Josh on the offensive, only missing 1 question the entire swing round. And if you remember, it is double points for him. So he's picking up 90 extra points. Matt and Jeff, a little worse for the wear. They didn't get their footing correct, but they picked up 35 extra points, bringing their totals to 85 for Team Triviality going into the next round and 120 for Josh.
All right, that brings us into the second half. So who do you want to face off against next?
I'm going to go against you, Ken.
All right, good. I've been sitting here nude looking like an idiot for 20 minutes.
I think that means I get Josh in his category, though. So
All right, so Ken, in potpourri and things that I think Ken is interested in.
It's always interesting to find out what people think that is. And I'm looking forward to it.
All right, question number 1. Did he do Neil's back piece? Norman Keith Collins is a tattoo artist, better known by what nickname? He is said to have received half of his nickname from his similarities to his family's mule, and the other half from his later enlistment.
I'm locked in.
I don't know a lot of famous tattoo artists. I'm trying to think of basically any tattoo artist with a famous tattoo artist with a nickname, and none are coming to mind right now. This is probably going to be painfully obvious when I hear it. Yeah, I just have to tap on this. I have no idea.
The only one that I could think of that would be like, when I think having a family mule would be old. So I said Sailor Jerry.
That is correct. He, the sailor, half of his nickname from his enlistment in the Navy, and his family mule was Jerry. That is Sailor Jerry.
Yeah, better known for his alcoholic beverages these days. But yeah, I should have gotten that.
Question number 2 for Ken. They should have called it Bad Ideas. Taking place 2 years after the events of Final Fantasy VII and focusing on a plot to resurrect Sephiroth, what was the name of the 2005 computer animated movie sequel to Final Fantasy VII?
Locked in.
That's good.
Did you enjoy this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a bit.
It's funny because there's two versions of the movie, and one of them is just like all the action scenes, and the plot is like
Non-existent.
barely understandable, and then the longer version is quite good.
It's just like a cutscene.
Yeah, it's like just straight fan service.
I don't really know much about these kind of questions, so I will have to tap.
Yeah, this is an oddly specific question for me. I do recall watching a DVD one time, and I saw the trailer for this come on for the first time, and I was like, what? There's a movie? And it's Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Yep, right on the head, Ken. It is Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Is that like a calendar where you open every day and a
Yes.
different child comes out?
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Question number 3. I wonder if they got a scarf for that. Clocking in at a memorable 2 hours, what beautiful game's score garnered it the first ever Grammy nomination for a video game? It would go on to lose to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in the best score soundtrack for visual media that year, but still remains the only Grammy-nominated video game in history.
Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in here.
After Josh just said that video games not a strong suit for him.
Yeah, not a strong suit. Unless it's like Football Manager 2020 or...
That one probably didn't get nominated
No.
for its soundtrack.
Or the fun game Water Reclamation Plant? Or
Yeah.
Actually, Football
can't-
Manager 2020 would be pretty sweet because there's nothing to do right now.
Just take a nap.
I beat that game in about 15 minutes.
You just hit lay off your employees, click.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Okay, so two things led me to the answer here. One, I think this game is short, clocking in at about 2 hours and mostly atmospheric. And then he said something about a scarf in the category. So I think
I know what it is.
I think it's Journey.
Yes, it is. It is Journey, the only video game with a Grammy nomination.
Yeah.
Journey is great. If you haven't played it, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's a gorgeous game.
play it any way you want it.
So that's the way you need it ultimately.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been learning more about video games because Henry has gotten into them. So he's, he watches all the YouTube gamer people and has to bring me his iPad all the time, show me what he's watching, and I don't understand any of it. So.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we've been heavy into Animal Crossing in this household the last few months. It's pretty high. Not gonna lie, the turnips are pretty expensive this week, but we'll still probably turn a profit on them.
Teach your children early the evils of uncontrolled capitalism.
Yeah. All right, number 4. Derived from the Japanese term for another person's house or family, what is the Japanese slang term for people with controlling interests, used as an equivalent term for nerd or geek culture?
All right, I think I'm locked in here.
The things that I'm thinking of, like the one word that gets stuck in my head is Yakuza, but I know that that's not it. But that's what I'll lock in with. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. Sometimes my category is oddly specific and difficult, but I think I didn't know the first part about this until he said that it was the nerd or geek culture, and I think what he's talking about is otaku.
Mm.
That is correct, Ken. I am talking about otaku.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
I spent an inordinate amount of time convincing my Japanese friend I am not an otaku, though I kind of am a little bit.
It's a gaming website too, isn't it? Mhm.
Yeah, Kotaku. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Last question in Ken's round. Although guar should never be confused with children's music, that didn't stop what now defunct electronics chain from using lead singer Oderus Urungus as their, quote, game warrior in a 1994 ad.
Oh, man.
I kind of love how crappy Guar is on purpose.
I just realized that this is the first year I'm not going to see Guar in like 7 years, and I'm really sad about it.
Riot Fest is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
This ad is a beautiful time capsule, by the way. If you go back and watch it it's up on YouTube. It's great.
I'll lock in. I don't know if this is it, but
All right, so I'm thinking of electronic stores that are defunct. One that I'm thinking of is Radio Shack, but they didn't really sell games. Could that be Circuit City, maybe? So I think I'm going with Circuit City.
yeah, that's the only one I could think of. It was between Circuit City and CompUSA, and Circuit City seems to make more sense.
Yeah, CompUSA, probably way too square to use Oderus Urungus. It was definitely Circuit City.
Nice.
I'll have to look up that ad later. I don't think I maybe have seen it, but at the time I wasn't aware who Oderus Urungus was.
Matt, are you a fan of Guar's appearance on the AV Club where they cover music? I think they did it twice. Do you remember that at all? Yeah, it's so good. Like Billy Ocean.
Yeah.
After the round with Ken, it looks like Josh is picking up 20 points, bringing his total to 140. And Ken picked up 40 points for Team Triviality, bringing our total to 125.
Neil, can I put my pants back on now, or?
You've done well. You can put your pants back on, but leave your shirt off.
Got pop those pecs.
What pecs?
It's a podcast, Ken. People can't see.
Oh, right, my enormous pecs.
All right, Josh. Last one up, obviously, is Jeff. And I think that we found out a little earlier that we are not going to go with the Jeff category. We're going to go with a Josh category. So what was your category?
Premier League soccer.
Oh, no.
The air just
not
got
baseball.
sucked out of this room.
Question number 1 in Premier League soccer. Since its inception, the English Premier League titles have been dominated by a small handful of teams. Only 7 have won titles in the Premier League time period, and only 2 of those have won once. Name either team. One who shocked the world by overcoming long odds to win, the other a Northwest England team whose rosy 1995 season led to their title.
I can lock in.
I'm trying to remember if was it Man City that had the long odds a couple of years back, came out of nowhere. Because Man U's been pretty dominant as far as I know. Chelsea's been up there. Swansea, one of them.
So it sounds like you have a base knowledge of Premier League.
I like know some teams. Yeah,
That'll help.
that's sort of how I felt about baseball though last time. I know I heard about it because they were joking about how much you would have paid off at the end of the season, and for some reason I thought it was Man City. I don't know. That's what I'll lock in.
Okay. The 2 that I can think of are the Leicester City and Blackburn Rovers.
Leicester City. That was the city I was thinking of.
Yep, that is correct. The Leicester City Dons and the Blackburn Rovers. Leicester City a few years ago, the 5,000 to 1 odds. Blackburn was 1995.
I should have known that.
Jeff, you got confused. Man City is the alternate nickname of our sweat lodge here.
Yes.
You could tell it's Man City because of the Keurig cup.
And it's a bold roast. Josh is over there choking like I do on current coffee.
Do you really want to evoke the image of a coffee bean right now, Neil?
Well, if there was a pool because it's so hot outside, there'd definitely be seeing some coffee beans. That's for sure. It's so, I'm just going to be honest, it's so creepy in here because we're wearing masks and I can't see anyone smile. So it's so strange because we're laughing, but you can't see anyone smile.
I'm smiling with my eyes. All right, let's get the next question in Premier League, which Jeff is definitely going to know.
All right. James Milner has played for 5 English teams, scoring 55 goals in the process. While that goal total in his nearly 500 games played isn't necessarily perfect, his 55 goals coincide with an interesting EPL record. What is that record?
I think I can lock in.
Okay, well, it's up to me to take a guess, I guess. So I'll guess that it's also the same number of goals scored by a player in a season.
My guess is that he's never missed a penalty.
No, there was a small clue in there that the 500 games weren't necessarily perfect, but his teams are. They have never lost when he scored a goal.
That's right. Yeah. He used to play for City, so I forgot that.
All right, question number 3. Which team recorded the worst season in English Premier League history, mustering only 1 win, 11 total points, and a nice goal differential of negative 69 in the process?
Nice.
That's not good.
Yeah. That's good analysis, Ken.
Okay, so now I want to think about teams that might play in the Champions
Well,
League.
Matt, I would say that is not good.
Got our color commentary for the new English Premier League. Ken over here. Ken, that ball was just stolen from Messi. How does that make you feel?
That was not good.
I don't even think Messi's in the English Premier
That
League.
is not how you want to play soccer,
I
Neil.
think he plays in the Spanish League.
Yeah, that was the only name I could think of at the top of my head. So,
In my opinion, you want to try to get the ball in the net.
From my perspective, that was bad.
I'm going to go with Jeff, do you want to say? Or
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to guess a Champions League or a Tier 1.
right. I'm going to say Blackpool.
Blackpool sounds good.
I'm going to guess that too.
No. I'm going to guess, let's see. I'm trying to think. I'll say Wimbledon.
That's tennis, Jeff.
No, there's an AFC Wimbledon, Ken.
That's Jeff.
They're a Tier 1.
That's Jeff's favorite Paul Bettany, Kirsten Dunst movie of all time.
All right, no points here. It was in the year 2007. The team was Derby County. There's a great shirt that went around that was just like the logo of Derby County. It said, "I scored on Derby County in 2007."
I remember that now, but yeah.
Got him.
Seriously, Derby County, guys.
All right, question number 4. The FA Cup is the most prestigious tournament in English football, but it isn't the only major tournament in the English calendar. By what Thai energy drink sponsor name is the League Cup better known? Formerly known as the Carling Cup.
Yeah, that was... God, I can't think of it now.
He says named after an energy drink?
Yeah, a Thai energy drink company.
Is it the Bang Cup? Is that a thing? I just love Bang energy drink.
What is it called? God, I can't think of it. I'm just going to say Monster. I know that's not right, but I cannot think of it.
So I don't think it's Monster, and I don't think it's like Red Bull, and I can't think of a Thai energy drink. But I'm just going to say one that I used to drink, and I was quite fond of because of all the guarana, and it was Balls.
That is a real thing.
No, the Balls Cup is what Neil has in front of his right now. It is the Carabao.
Carabao.
Never heard of it.
Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
One thing we know about Jeff is he's never short of guarana.
Carabao is made of liquefied caribou.
Important.
God, it just
from
really
the Arctic
ticks
Circle.
me off. I sat here, all I could think of was Carling Cup because that's what I've known it as for so long. But
All right, final question in the Premier League round. We're going to do a little gambling because England loves to gamble on soccer. Name the leading scorer in the first EPL season or the most recent EPL season. And I was going to say 5 bonus points if you name both, 0 points if you get either one wrong. So if you guess 2 and one of them's wrong, it's a 0.
I can lock in.
Just trying to think of older English soccer players I know.
Kicky McFoots.
John Soccer.
Footy Brighton.
Wouldn't that be great if the soccer players had like baseball player names?
Yeah.
I wish it was like in football when they do the introduction, like when they go like the Ohio State, like the Key and Peele sketch, but they're like really angry. Oi!
Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah, right. University of Oxford.
Cambridge.
The Straits of...
Oh, these players go to soccer academy at 10 and then never attend school again.
Yeah, that's true.
Name a player, Jeff.
All right, David Beckham.
I was going to say, Mr. Posh.
I'm going to say Jamie Vardy.
Yep, Jamie Vardy was the most recent EPL leading scorer. The first EPL leading scorer in the first season was Teddy Sheringham.
That had never gotten that.
After that final round versus Jeff, it looks like Josh only picked up 2, even though it was his category. So his total is going to be 160 going into the final round. And Jeff, unfortunately, had to tap, or I guess in soccer terms, toe, I guess. You toe the ball a little bit? I don't know. But he got no points. So we're at 125. So those are the scores going to the final round, 125 to 160.
My professional opinion, Neil, is that was bad.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Ken. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks for that segue. Yeah, so we are the categories for the final round here are going to be Jeff, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Josh.
Okay, the wagers are in, and again, this will be against myself and Neil. Is that correct grammar? Myself and Neil? Neil and I? Me and Neil? Whatever. It's against, Ken and Neil.
It would be against Neil and me.
And Ken, that grammar was not good.
All right, let's get those questions.
All right, Jeff. This is a question about baseball. I'm just kidding. It's a geography question. The baseballs used in MLB games are handmade in the city of Turrialba, a city in the central portion of what country, who is alleged to have gotten its name from Christopher Columbus during his final voyage in 1502 when he noticed vast quantities of jewelry worn by its natives. Question number 2. And Ken, a Chicago area restaurant named Kuma's Corner came under fire when it announced a burger with chili aioli, goat shoulder, aged white cheddar, red wine reduction, and a communion wafer garnish, named for what Swedish metal band? Question 3. In a 1997 game against the Denver Nuggets, Hakeem Olajuwon scored 48 points. While 48 points in a game is not a very rare occurrence, in this case, it was a record. What record did Hakeem set by scoring 48 that night, a record that has yet to be surpassed? Neil, name the 2 pairs of actors who have won Oscars for playing the same fictional character in separate movies. And the final question for Josh is a question about Austin. Although it would eventually be renamed for the father of Texas, Stephen F. Austin, what was the original name of the capital of the Republic of Texas, a name perhaps better associated with its Belgian equivalent?
All right, we will go over these questions and be back with our answers. Okay, all the answers are locked in, and right before we throw it back to Eric, just wanted to give a big thank you to Josh and Eric for being Patreon supporters. Without their support, we couldn't keep this going, especially considering today we have brand new sound panels in here that were given to us by the generosity of Josh and Eric's support. So if you'd like to join them, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. Get great perks like boxes, posters, stickers, but most of all, extra content, lots and lots of extra content. So thank you both for your support. And Eric, why don't you read those questions one more time for us?
Yeah, I'd also like my next Patreon donation to go towards a bigger K-Cup, please, Neil. Thank you. Okay, question number 1 was about baseball, really about geography. The baseballs used in MLB games are handmade in the city of Turrialba, a city in the central portion of what country, who is alleged to have got its name from Christopher Columbus during his final voyage in 1502 when he reported seeing the natives wearing vast quantities of jewelry?
We struggled a lot with this one. We were kind of thinking something in the Caribbean area near North America, so we settled on Puerto Rico, but we weren't sure.
Yeah, my first thought was the Dominican Republic, but thinking about the question a little bit, When he said the jewelry, I went with Costa Rica.
Puerto Rico is not a country, is it?
The clue there was about the vast quantities of jewelry. You did pick up on that. They looked very rich. Costa Rica was the correct answer.
Oh my God.
Oh, and I wagered 10 on that.
And we did 15 on each question. So
I did 10 on everything except for mine. I said 30. So.
All right. Question 2. In Ken, a Chicago area restaurant named Kuma's Corner came under fire when it announced a burger with chili aioli, goat shoulder, aged white cheddar, red wine reduction, and a communion wafer garnish, named for what Swedish metal band?
yeah, this one we were struggling with too. I do remember the news story. And we were trying to pick a band and we thought of several, but the one we settled on was one that uses religious imagery a lot, and we're not sure if they're Swedish, but Ghost.
I went with one of my favorite, somewhat fictional bands, I guess. I said Crucifixorious from Friday Night Lights.
Landry.
Yeah, known for its religious imagery. The lead singer is was Papa Emeritus. That is Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the chili aioli had ghost peppers in it, and that was the.
Yeah, it didn't sound like an Opeth burger or a Meshuggah burger.
Yeah.
Although I would eat the hell out of a Monomarth burger. So.
All right, question 3, Matt. In a 1997 game against the Denver Nuggets, Hakeem Olajuwon scored 48 points. While 48 points in a game is not a very rare occurrence, in this case it was a record. What record did Hakeem set by scoring 48 that night, a record that has yet to be surpassed?
Had some trouble with this one, but we just figured 48 is a lot of points for a center to score because usually it's the point guards or the forwards. So we went most points scored by a center.
Wilt Chamberlain did score 100 points once. So.
Yeah. I said most points by an African player.
Actually, so Ken kind of touched on something in his deliberations earlier, but didn't quite get to the actual answer. That is, he scored the most points ever without a free throw attempt.
So it was the opposite of what I was positing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Neil. Name the 2 pairs of actors who have won Oscars for playing the same fictional character in separate movies.
Yes, we said that this was Robert De Niro, Marlon Brando for Vito Corleone, and Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix for the Joker.
Yep, I had the same reasoning.
Yep, points for everybody. Brando and De Niro for Vito Corleone, Ledger and Phoenix for the Joker. Both pairs with a Best Actor and then a Best Supporting Actor winner. All right, and the last question in Josh. Although it would eventually be renamed for the father of Texas, Stephen F. Austin, what was the original name of the capital of the Republic of Texas? A name perhaps better associated with its Belgian equivalent.
And here comes the crushing blow with Josh betting 30 on this question. The only Belgian thing we could think of was Brussels. So that's what we said.
Well, there is still a lot of things around here named after this. A record store, a couple of eating establishments and whatnot, but it's Waterloo.
Yep, it is the famous ABBA song, Waterloo.
That was definitely a crushing blow. That was the Bruce Lee jumping and stepping on someone's back.
All right. Well, with that, the game has ended. We had 110 points over at Team Triviality, but the better man, the better father, and the winner of the Game of Death is Josh with 190. And here's the defeat clip.
Fatality.
We got naked for nothing.
Not for nothing.
I guess that's true.
Never for nothing.
Now.
It's never for nothing.
That's right. Great game, Josh.
We soiled a K-cup.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was very. I thought I would do better, but those were great questions.
You won.
So. Well, you won, so turned us into the Derby City or whatever that town was.
We're the Derby City of trivia.
The Washington Generals of the Premier League.
Yeah. You'll get a shirt that says "I beat Triviality at Game of Death in 2020."
That's awesome. That was a really good game, Eric.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun to write. I was excited when you said I could write a Premier League category, because I am also a Premier League fan, and one of my best friends is a big Premier League fan. So I sent him a text saying, "Hey, you want to help me write this?" So shout out, hi Matt, thank you for helping me out. I have a string of about 45 texts from him just shouting questions out. So I said, I think I'll be able to pick out of this. I'm good. And stop now, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eric. That was awesome. Great questions. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Josh. Shout out to your son Henry as well. I don't know if we mentioned him yet on the episode, but shout out to Henry
and Maggie. Yeah.
And also shout out to my wife Michelle for helping me playtest some of these, and for my 3 kids who were quiet for the whole time. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank my wife, Kristen, for putting up with the children while I was doing this. So,
all right. Thanks again, guys. That was the Game of Death for Josh, Eric, Matt, Jeff, Neil, and myself. That was Triviality, Game of Death.
It reminds me of the primal urge as a child to like really have to go to the bathroom. You had to take off all your clothes in order to do it.
I don't remember that urge.
That was just you, Neil.
Yeah, not a universal experience, Neil.